What is good? What is good? What is good? How is everybody doing, man? How is everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Hope everybody is doing well. We are close. It is almost Friday, guys. It is almost Friday. Um, so for those of you guys, y'all only got one more day in the week until you guys can relax. But Raider Nation, we have got some things to talk about. We got some news, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. I will tell you, I am loving the moves today. I am absolutely loving. I am loving the moves today. We needed a linebacker. We got a linebacker. We needed a safety. We got ourselves a safety. I'm here for it. But you already know, man, really quick, I got to give a quick roll call to everybody who's already in here. We got Renato, Tavio, Valerie, William, Freddie, OG, J Smith, EJ was good, Joy Boy, if I lying, I'm dying, was popping, Bourbon, Operator, Anthony Estrada, Fulio, Blue King, Isaiah, who else we got in here? Raider Payton, Egalitarian, 40 Viz, 3D, Valerie, what's up again? Daniel, Joy Boy again. Salvo was popping. Raider 805. Gunsmoke. EC. Rafael. Nabai. OG Fade. If I'm lying, I'm dying. We got a bunch of y'all in here. Brandon was good. Leon was popping. James. SC was good, my brother. Shout out to my guy SC. Jack Daniel. Jack Daniels, that's funny. That's a good one right there. Busy Raider was good. Raider Kojo was popping. 510 Raider. Mondo, Lewis, Daniel, Kenny, Raider Zach Curtis. I think I caught up. I think I caught up with everybody. Hold on. We got Raider 7 in the building. Shout out to everybody. Man, the Raiders were busy, and I am loving it. I am actually really loving it, you guys. First things first. First things first. I want to mention this. The two moves that the Raiders made today, man, bringing in Tennessee linebacker Jayon Brown and bringing in New England Patriot, Detroit Lion, Atlanta Falcon, safety DURON Harmon, man. You're getting yourself a good veteran. He's a guy that kind of played a similar role to Devin McCourty, I believe, is the safety out there in New England. He played a similar role out there with him. They kind of split the field, and he has that versatility where if McCourty dropped into the box to play slot on a slot receiver, he can be the guy that can go up. And that's why I'm very happy about this move, right? It's not the safety that we all thought. It's not the safety that's like, oh my God, this is crazy. But what I will say is that it adds versatility. And this player right here, if making the roster, if he still has juice left in the tank, I will tell you one thing. He will allow Trayvon Merrick to excel. And you guys may be thinking, well, how the hell is a 31-year-old player going to allow Trayvon Merrick to excel? Well, it's pretty damn simple. Coming out of TCU, Trayvon Merrick was not just a safety. Trayvon Merrick was a guy that had the versatility to drop in the box. Trayvon Merrick was a guy that played slot corner. He was a guy that was all around the ball at all times. That's why he won the Thorpe Award, Best Defensive Back in the nation, or in college football, whatever that award is. He led the entire college football in pass breakups. So listen, you go out and you get DURON Harmon. When you're playing that split high, perfect. They can play that split high together. But what I will say is that when Patrick Graham needs a guy to drop into the slot, to drop into the box, to play one-on-one man coverage on a slot corner, on a slot receiver, or on a tight end, you can do that with Merrick, right? So that allows DURON Harmon to go up, play that post, Trayvon Merrick to come into the box and excel, get those pass breakups, get his hand on the ball. This is very good by the Las Vegas Raiders. On top of that, there's familiarity with the system, right? Last year, we brought in a Casey Hayward. He had a lot of familiarity with the system. He was a guy, a teacher on and off the field. With that, though, this guy, DURON Harmon, has championship pedigree. He was with the New England Patriots in their glory days. So that's another thing to look at, man. Like, he has that championship pedigree. He's a guy that can be a teacher on the field to these young guys. He's a guy that can kind of help keep these dudes in check. I'm liking the move with DURON Harmon. And let me tell you what, I am absolutely loving the move with Mr. Jayon Brown, Tennessee tight linebacker. Let me give you a quick rundown on Jayon Brown, man. 5 years in the league, been with the Tennessee Titans, right? This man, ever since entering the league, he outperformed Tennessee Titans first round pick Rashaan Evans. Rashaan Evans was their high investment. Rashaan Evans was supposed to be that guy for Tennessee's linebacker core. But guess what? It ended up being Mr. Fifth round pick Jayon Brown. This boy right here, I think that this linebacker room has gone way, way better. And the reason why I say that, when we are in our nickel, you can take out Denzel Perryman on these pass heavy downs when it's 2nd and 10, when it's 3rd and 10, when it's 3rd and long. You can slide Jayon Brown in there, and you can have Divine Diablo and Jayon Brown. That is, oh my God. Do you know how lethal that could be against the pass, man? Jayon Brown is an A minus, A plus pass coverage linebacker. You do not find that in the NFL very, very often. You can't. You cannot. Now, when it comes to Denzel Perryman, his strong suit is hitting people. His strong suit is plugging up those gaps and getting those tackles for loss. Well, guess what? You have a person, you have the perfect combination between Denzel Perryman and Jayon Brown. Those two right there can be going in and out and could be dominating the opposition. First down, you got Denzel Perryman in there dissecting, diagnosing the plays, getting them in a position where they got to pass the ball. Boom, Denzel Perryman comes out. You slide Jayon Brown in for 2nd and 3rd down. That pass coverage is going to be elite in the nickel defense, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. Let me just give you guys a rundown on what our linebacker group looks like. As of today, our linebacker room for the Las Vegas Raiders consists of Denzel Perryman, Micah Kiser, Divine Diablo, Jayon Brown, and you have Jonathan Abram that can be that hybrid safety / linebacker. So I am really, really liking that. We definitely need to add a couple guys, if not one, maybe two guys in the draft. I would have said two when we had 7 picks, but now that we only have 5, I'd say go out and just get one guy in the draft. But that's a good linebacker room. Like, that's a very, very solid linebacker room. Obviously, Micah Kiser is more like a special teams ace. He should take over that Nick Kwiatkowski role. So that's something to look at. But let me give you a rundown now on the safety room. It's not looking too good. And we still need to add some guys. Your safety room consists of Dallin Levitt, Roderick Teamer, Deron Harmon, Tyree Gillespie, and Trayvon Merritt. You want to add another guy in there that if one of our starters goes down, you can plug and play. You want to add another guy. You really, really do. Because that's no knock to Dallin Levitt and Roderick Teamer. I really like Roderick Teamer. But Tyree Gillespie's a guy that did not have a lot of snaps last season. He didn't have a lot of snaps. So looking at Levitt, looking at Teamer, looking at Gillespie, those really aren't the guys that you want to have to be your plug and play guys. So I see somebody saying the Honey Badger in here. Daniel, I understand. I could see it. I could see the Honey Badger in this uniform. It would be very, very nice. But at the end of the day, you guys, I really want us to just go out and add another guy that at the end of the day, if someone goes down, it could be plug and play, right? That's kind of why I wanted the Raiders to target Malik Hooker. Not a crazy high value, or maybe a Jaron Curse. Not a crazy high value, but you're getting a lot of production, especially if you get to rotate them in and out. Now, Tyree Gillespie can most definitely be that guy, but I really, really want to see more production and more play out on the field for a guy like Tyree Gillespie, right? We didn't see him at all last year. I really want to see that. And obviously you have Jonathan Abram, but me personally, I wouldn't really say that Abram is that safety. He's kind of going more into that linebacker hybrid safety role. Now, one thing I will say, Jabril Peppers is still out on the market. He is still out on the market. He's a strong safety / linebacker hybrid. You could do some damage with bringing in Jabril Peppers, right? We missed out on Logan Ryan. You could potentially go out and get this guy. Now, shout out to Graphs Live. I immediately mentioned it in our little group chat that we had when we signed Deron Harmon. I said, look, man, Deron Harmon played with Gilmore in his heydays when they were winning Super Bowls. And shout out to him, he said on his show, But listen, you guys, I feel like that's really, really not big, but it's something to look at for sure, man. You may be able to connect two guys that know each other, that trust each other, that have played with each other, and some of these staff members. That is big. That is very, very big. Um, I'm hearing KC is very interested in Gilmore. I have not heard that they are very interested in Gilmore. I've heard that they have now been open to possibly bringing him in. Because now they have the money to afford it. But I have not heard the reports that they are very interested in bringing in Gilmore. Now, if they are, that's a team that we got to keep our eye out because, they're making that money and they have that big name. They're kind of that household team right now. Even with losing Tyreek Hill, that's a team to look after. That is a team to look after. If they are in on the Stephon Gilmore train, we got to kind of poke our head in there a little bit more to really do some damage, bro. But I really think that Stephon Gilmore is a must. Is a must. What's it called? Who you got with Mexico or USA, man? I'm watching the game on my phone, bro. I got it right here on the side. We have about 8 million cap left with about 7 contracts not entered. Be ready for some cuts or trade to come. Shout out to Redder Sparks. What I've been seeing is that we had before today's moves, we had anywhere between 14.6 and 16.6 million dollars. Now, I'm not sure, Redder Sparks, if you're already accounting the 2 contracts that we got in today, but from what I was hearing, we had just a little bit more than that. And on top of that, we got 20 million to work with post June. So, something really, really to look at with that one right there. Shout out to Space for says, every time I see Levitt, he is on his belly watching the other team run by his slow, weak ass. Listen, man, Levitt is a guy that's going to earn himself a roster spot every single year. He's a good special teams guy. He adds a little bit of depth when it comes to the safety position. But personally, I don't want to see Down Levitt on the field, right? And DURON HARMOND, in my eyes, is is a glimmer of hope, right? Because now Dallin Levitt now has to go through Gillespie, Merrick, and DURON HARMOND to get on the field. So hopefully, we don't see much of him left out on the field. But this is one thing I do want to talk about, and let me see if I could pull it up really quick. We got that. Boom. So right here, man, we got Jayon Brown. We got him signed, but check this out right here, man. In 2020, he was rated as best, the league's best of all eligible linebackers when it came to completion percentage or catch percentage. I'm sorry, catch percentage when targeted. So when he was targeted, only 11% of all targets were caught on Jayon Brown in 2020. That's when he had his biggest year. Jayon Brown right here, he is one of the most locked down coverage linebackers I've seen in many, many years. He got a 1-year deal with the Tennessee Titans last year. A lot of their fans were hoping that they were going to bring him back. But I will repeat this, in 2020, amongst all eligible linebackers, Darius Leonard, Bobby Wagner, all these guys, he ranked the league's best in catch percentage allowed when targeted, and that was 11.6%. This man right here is lockdown, man. He is lockdown. Let's see, struggles against the run defense, and that's something I did want to touch up on, right? A lot of people were mentioning this, and yes, that is a fact. But that's exactly why when I first opened this up, I mentioned Denzel Perryman's name. Denzel Perryman is a guy that struggles with the pass coverage. So guess what? On first and second down, you make these guys a duo. You make these guys a tandem. You make these guys attached at the hip all training camp. Listen, these guys need to understand that if they work together, this second level, this linebacking group can be phenomenal with both of their services. Denzel Perryman on first and second down, lights out. He is lights out when it comes to stopping that run. And guess what? He is not lights out when it comes to stopping that pass. So you bring in Jayon Brown, you let him play the weak side linebacker, and then once it comes to that time to be in the nickel, you can let Denzel Perryman come off the field. You can go in the nickel, and your nickel defense can now consist of Divine Diablo and Jayon Brown. He says, sounds like a third down linebacker. Well, let me tell you this, Jack. It all depends on how we play this, right? It all depends on how we play this, because in our base defense, when we go into our 3-4, personally, I love Jonathan Abram. I like Jonathan Abram a lot. He deserves to go back to his position, which is a weak side linebacker. This is where Jayon Brown had his best career year as the weak side linebacker. He can play that mic. He could play that mic, and he could play that strong. But he had his best career year at the weak side linebacker position while rotating in on your nickel defense package as that sub guy. So you can really utilize these guys and get the max potential out of these boys right here in Denzel Perryman and Jayon Brown. Now, one thing that I have not heard about Jayon Brown is his contract and the length of his deal. I haven't heard anything in terms of numbers, and I haven't heard anything in terms of how many years we've landed him here for. I hope that he's on a more than 2-year deal, whether it's 2 or more years. I don't want us to just bring him in 1 year and let him walk, because personally, I really, really, really feel like he can be a playmaker on this defense, man. He only played 10 games this season. He had an interception. He had a fumble recovery. I believe he had 2 sacks. So this is a guy, man, that you can utilize his skill set with the guy like Denzel Perryman still being on the roster. And personally, with Denzel Perryman just being on the roster for one more season, I feel like you should really, really use this chance for a guy like Jayon Brown to get the max potential out of him. That's what I feel. And let me see, man. I want to go towards his stats line real quick, because that boy is a beast. This boy is a beast. Let's see. Let's just hit enter on that right there. Signs with the Raiders, blah blah blah. Let's go to stats, man. He's had, for a guy that's so called struggles against the run, he has had 106. Not Jason Campbell. What is this doing? Jayon Brown. For a guy that struggles against the run, right? He's had a season with over 100 tackles. He had a season with 106 tackles, I believe. Is it this one right here where they got him registered? So it looks like the NFL site has him registered at 93 tackles this year, but on the ESPN site it had him labeled as 106 tackles. Andy, do you think the signing of DURON Harmon means the end of the Raiders chasing Honey Badger? It could mean that those talks will close down. It could mean that they could just slow down. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that it'll come to a complete halt. I would say that it'll definitely slow down the conversation, though, now that we have somebody that's a familiar face, now that we have somebody that can teach the defense, now that we have somebody that could potentially be a recruiting piece for a guy like Stephon Gilmore. So that's something to look into as well. But yes, these are his stats. 1.5 sacks in 2018, recording 6 of them. Interception in each of his last 4 years. Very, very good. Very, very good player right here, man. I'm really liking this pickup right here. I really, really am. I really, really am. But I just wanted to pull that up. I just wanted to pull that up. Definitely better than last year. It feels good not seeing the front office threw shit to the wall and see what sticks. Facts, man. Paired with Abram and Perryman in the box, the middle will be in lock. It could be very, very, very spooky for these guys, man. It could be extremely, extremely spooky for these boys, man. And it's something to look at, man. It is definitely something to look at. I want to pull this up, though. I want to pull this up. I want to pull this up right here where the 3-4 defense is showing, because I want to show you guys where I feel like he will play in that 3-4 defense. So I want to show you guys this right here, for you guys to see. What the hell, boy? Never mind. I'm tripping. But great show, and appreciate you, Reddit Rick. Appreciate you. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull up a bigger version. Or you know what? I'm gonna pull up a nickel defense. Nickel defense. Very, very important, man. Very, very, very important. I saw something about 23 players added and not done yet. Any concern about possible filling out process for this new roster and how much turnaround? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be worried about that. I would not be worried about that. One thing that we have to remember is this is this is this is an organization that when they first came in, they said that they want to get good players at every level of the football field, right? If they want to get good players at every single level of the football field, well, guess what? Go out and be competitive. Go out and bring in these guys. Go out and bring in these guys. And this is what I want to show. I want to show this really quick. Okay. Let's see. Not that, bro. I want to show this right here. So on this is, I guess this is the Browns defense, but fuck the Browns, okay? This is something that you want to look at. Right here, your strong safety, this will be DURON Harmon. This will be Trayvon Merrick. This would be Jayon Brown, and in my opinion, Divine Diablo takes the next step, and he comes right here. He plays this role. Now your nickel defender here, this will be most likely Nate Hobbs. There's no reason for it not to be Nate Hobbs. Your corner right here on the outside will probably be Rockison, and as of now, your left cornerback is Trayvon Mullen. Now, it could change. It could definitely change. If you go out and you get Stephon Gilmore, Rockison then becomes your left cornerback, and Stephon Gilmore becomes your right cornerback. Now, your defensive line, it would be, in my opinion, you got Max Crosby. Then you, as of right now, you got what? Pico, Kyle Pico right here as your nose. You have Bilal Nichols, and then you have Chandler Jones. That is what will be in for a majority of the time. And listen, you guys, DURON Harmon may not be the season opening starter. So we may get another strong safety. Who knows? Maybe the door isn't completely closed on a Honey Badger, right? But in terms of this entire defense, right? To me, it's perfect all across the board, except for this position right here, this nose tackle position. I feel like this nose tackle position will need to get better significantly, right? Kyle Pico is a damn good nose tackle, but he is not a starter. He is not a guy that's going to start 17 weeks, in my opinion, for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a guy that'll rotate in and out. He'll be very, very useful when it comes to goal line defenses. But as of today, I would really, really love the Raiders to go out and target an Eddie Goldman for this position, possibly a Linval Joseph for this position. You could possibly even have Tyree Gillespie starting at this strong safety spot. So very, very interesting to see this, right? And this is just something that I want to put up here for you guys to see so that you guys can see how the offense could line up when we are, or how the defense, my apologies, I'm sorry, how the defense can line up when we are in our nickel base, okay? This is a 4-2-5. You got four defensive linemen, two linebackers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. This is a standard 4-2-5, and there are so many different other defenses that I believe the Raiders will be in this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we just gotta go out there and continue to fill this roster up and continue to get great players. Get great players. Jose says, "You not watching the Mexico game?" Jose, my brother, my brother. Come on, man. Eddie Goldman is still available. Raiders for life. He is definitely still out there. Another guy that's still out there is Linval Joseph. I like it. I'd bring him in. Brandon Williams is still out there. Not my first choice, but definitely a plug and play veteran. You can really, really, really fill up this roster a lot better. Obviously, the big name at safety now is just the Honey Badger, with Marcus May, Eric Reed, and all these boys getting their contracts. They all came and went. Like their time is done. Like they all got their contracts. Rightfully so. They all deserved it. But I mean, I really would have wanted us to add a safety in the free agency period. But at the same time, some of my favorite prospects in this year's draft are safeties, right? You have Bubba Bolden, you got Smoke Monday, you got Nick Cross, you got Verone McKinley. You got a lot of great prospects out there. So it'll be very, very intriguing to see what we do. Honey Badger's a free safety. We ain't getting him to play strong safety. Well, listen, let me put this back up on the screen, because that's a very, very good statement right there. And I'm gonna pull the comment back down and I'm gonna pull it back up when I'm done talking about it. But to your point, Honey Badger is a free safety, right? But this is why I said that a guy like DURON Harmon can help the production of Trayvon Merrick, right? So let's say this is where the Honey Badger lines up, right? The Raiders can switch into a cover three, and your strong safety can come down here. He can be that post safety. You know what that then allows? That then allows your young guy, Trayvon Merrick, to come down into the box and play whatever guy is coming out here. Whatever guy is coming out there, right? Because as of right now, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? There's something where Trayvon Merrick can come down here and play a zone. He can come down here and man match on this receiver if he comes up in the alley. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of stuff. And DURON Harmon, he gives that versatility, right? And to your point with Honey Badger being a free safety, that'll still be a free safety position for him. He would line up in a strong safety spot, but overall, when he's playing, it would be a free safety spot. So there's a lot of things that you could do with bringing in the Honey Badger. I'm not too sure if it'll still happen. I would definitely love it to happen, but I'm honestly just not too sure. I'm not too sure. Now, like I said, you can bring in a Jabril Peppers and play him right here. You can bring in Jabril Peppers and play him right here. It's funny because they got Jabril Peppers right here when he was back on the Browns. But yeah, you could bring in Jabril Peppers and put him right there at that strong safety spot, and it works perfectly fine for him. So there's something to look at. There's something to look at. But that's a very, very good observation right there. And shout out to I Love Nursery Rhyme, because that's a good observation. Very, very good observation. Steven, Merrick is extremely versatile. Coming out of college, versatility was probably one of his top assets. You fucking dumbass, man. God damn it, Tecatito. Come on, man. But I'm sorry. Um, like I said, Trayvon Merrick coming out of college, versatility was one of his top assets. He's a guy that can line up in the slot. He's a guy that can play that post. He's a guy that can play that split high. He can do so freaking much. Space for Rent, in my opinion, Honey Badger can play anywhere. When he comes down into the box, he has that physicality to him. He can play anywhere, in my opinion. Was good, Andy. Was good. Fade to Black. Daniel says, any updates on Stephon Gilmore? No updates in terms of the Raiders. It does look like the Chiefs may be a team that could be entering that conversation now that they have more money. That's the only update that I would have on the Honey Badger. Safeties are very interchangeable nowadays. And to your point, Ruben, they are more interchangeable with Patrick Graham because he kind of plays them the same way. I like Peppers just as much, bro. He's balling. Jabril Peppers is a damn good football player. But if you get Jabril Peppers, I think that you're putting it out there that you're moving on from Abram, which is fine. In my opinion, if you go out and you get Jabril Peppers and you clearly kind of show that you're moving on from Jonathan Abram, it's fine because you're showing that you're willing to move on and it's showing that you're getting an upgrade. So I would love to bring in Jabril Peppers. I would absolutely love it. The fact that he's still out on the market, in my opinion, is still pretty worrying, though. Didn't Jabril Peppers end off the season with an injury? Didn't Jabril Peppers end off with an injury? So hopefully none of that stuff is coming to play, but we'll see. I'm all for taking more talent from the Chiefs. Me too. Me too, Kobe. Me too. Yo, Andy, how do you think Carr will get his contract extension so we can free up more money? Renfro contract too, right? Yes, you definitely want to extend both those guys. You definitely do. Now, for those of you guys, I wouldn't worry about Derek Carr's extension because Derek Carr's extension is kind of already a lock. It's kind of already in place. It's probably already in the move, in the works, right? I'm gonna say one thing. Devontae Adams chose to come to the Raiders because of Derek Carr. So when you have your guy that you just traded away, your top two pieces, your top two draft capital in the draft this year for him, he 100% had to make it clear that he would not be joining unless his quarterback was here, right? And unless his quarterback was here for long term. So I wouldn't worry about the Derek Carr contract extension. It's just a matter of time now it's just a matter of sooner rather than later at this point, right? You want to get it done kind of sooner so that you can save more money. And especially with Hunter Renfrow, I think that if you bring back Derek Carr, it definitely moves the needle pretty far for Hunter Renfro's extension, right? Hunter Renfro is a guy that's built a great resume with Derek Carr so far. You know, those two guys seem to be clicking on all cylinders every single year since entering the league, right? So bringing in Derek Carr would only add more security for Hunter Renfro. So you're kind of killing with two birds with one stone, extending one or the other, because you're kind of just moving along the needle for the other person by bringing back one. Whether it's Hunter, you're moving the needle for Derek Carr. Whether it's Derek Carr, you're moving the needle for Hunter. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. But I definitely see Derek Carr getting his extension this offseason. It's just a matter of when, right? Post June, we obviously have more money to work with. Maybe they want even more money to work with post June. And maybe they want to extend him there. Maybe they want to extend him right before we hit camp. Me personally, I would love to extend him before we hit camp, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. They want to see how Carr does. That's in my opinion, that's stupid, Joey Boy Raider. That's stupid. Like, you've seen Derek Carr play football for what, 9 years now? I don't want to hear that. Honestly, I don't want to hear that they want to see what they have in Derek Carr. Listen, man, do your due diligence. You know what you have in Derek Carr. He's a good player. Now, if that's honestly what they want to do, that's not worrying, but it's very interesting to see that if they want to do that, it may not show full confidence. But I definitely just think that right now they're just trying to take it one step at a time, baby steps, right? This is their first time together, working together, trying to build an organization and build a franchise. They want to make sure that they're making the right decisions in free agency. They want to make sure that they're still leaving themselves enough time to really prepare themselves well enough for the draft to where they can maximize the draft, especially now that we only have 5 picks, right? So I really feel like you could see Derek Carr's extension be done once the draft is over. Once the draft is over, we definitely could see Derek Carr get his extension there, because then there's a lot more weight lifted off their shoulders. Now it's just kind of figuring out the roster. It's no longer who are we gonna bring in. It's now figuring out who's gonna stay. That's what it is. Let's see. I feel like Daniels because of Carr. Wait. I feel like Daniels came because of Carr and was good. And it was good. Sounds was popping. I definitely feel like they both came in because of DC. Definitely did. AV. He said just came in and both up. Listen, man, we don't do the Chargers over here, man. But if you want to show support, I appreciate you, I guess, man. Um, let's see. What's good with you, Jesse? Was popping. Yo, I'm a Broncos fan, but I enjoy your channel. Appreciate it, I guess, Adrian. The Broncos suck. Y'all fucking stadium was lit up on fire today. It just shows how shitty your fucking organization is ran. But appreciate you for the love, brother. Love the depth pieces. Can Jayon Brown start? He can definitely start. Keith. I would definitely love to see Jayon Brown start. He's been basically a full-time starter with the Tennessee Titans, along with Rashawn Gary. They've been kind of that tandem over there. And what they were able to build with Jayon Brown and Rashawn Gary over there was pretty impressive, right? They got that true run stopper with Rashawn Gary. and he kind of made up for everything that Jayon Brown couldn't do in the run game, and Jayon Brown kind of made up for everything that Rashawn Gary couldn't do in the pass game. So it worked pretty good. It worked pretty damn good. Jayon Brown got us to with that pick. He definitely picked us off. He definitely picked us off. Andy, I don't know how you do it, but I got a lot. But how you do it, but you got a lot of fans from other teams. Listen, man, the Raider Nation is doing something right, fam. They want to tap in with us. So it is what it is. We'll let them tap in with us. We'll let them sit here and while we shit on their fans and while we shit on their teams, they can definitely be here and listen. They can definitely be here and listen. They got something to prove still. Have y'all ever seen the Raiders win a Super Bowl in your lifetime? Listen, Adrian, all I'm gonna say is, brother, y'all suck. Y'all suck. Pretty simple. Your your franchise is horrible. You're welcome. Appreciate you. Um, let's see. Simple as that. Simple as that, Freddie. Um, it's different. I agree. Just let her watch. What? Hey, we gonna welcome more fans to the dark side. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. But listen, I want to talk about another thing. I want to mention another thing, and that's the fact that the Raiders have now missed out on yet another offensive lineman in the market here, and that's Billy Turner. And it just so happens that Mr. fucking Broncos over here, Mr. Donkey, they actually landed Billy Turner. Billy Turner was another option that the Raiders, in my opinion, should have targeted, whether it was for the guard or tackle position. He has that versatility, but he is now off the market. So I'm really, really, really interested to see if the Raiders truly feel like what we have on that offensive line can be polished up with great coaching. Billy Turner being off the market, it's another serviceable guy that could have played. He's definitely a guy that's going to start over there. So we'll see. We'll see. You got Daryl Williams, and what else? You got Quessenberry. I believe it's David Quessenberry. So you don't have as many options as you had before, but there's still some serviceable options. I definitely want to see what we can do. I definitely want to see what we could do. And I hope that we do not enter the season with Brandon Parker, Jackson Barton as our two main right tackle positions. That's what I'm saying. Um, can we do can we draft O line early nation? I mean, you could go out and draft an offensive lineman with the 86 overall pick. In my opinion, though, there won't be any offensive tackles at that 86 overall pick worth grabbing. I think that if you're going to go offensive line with the 86 overall pick, you should go with the interior offensive lineman because I feel like there's going to be a run on offensive tackles. So I feel like there'll be a good amount of guards that should have went earlier on that won't be picked up and will be there in the third round. So I'm very, very happy if the Raiders go out and go O-line. I would be very happy if they go out and get interior offensive line. You can definitely go out and get a guy like Kellen Desich or in a fourth, maybe even in the fifth, but I doubt it because of how great he had, how great he performed at the combine, right? But like I said, this offensive line right now, it could be Jermaine Illumino at right tackle starting week 1. It could be Alex Leatherwood at right guard, Andre James at center, and Denzel Good at left guard with Colton Miller at left tackle. That would be very, very interesting because it's not that it's a good O line. It's average. Nothing off the charts with those guys, but it will get the job done. It will get the job done. So we'll see. We'll see. What about Daryl Williams? He's another option. And Dwayne Brown is another option. I forgot. But Dwayne Brown is a left tackle. So I wouldn't bring in Dwayne Brown. He's a left tackle. He's a guy that you would have to switch positions at the back end of his career. So we'll see. We'll see. Raiders win 6 games at most. Adrian, listen. we can have other people's fans in here, I guess, but what we don't tolerate is stupidity. So you can still be here, but you're gonna be in timeout. We'll see. We'll see. John Simpson is asked, need a new offensive guard. Well, listen. Well, listen. Like I said, if the Raiders offensive line coach Carmen Brasillo is confident in what we have on this team right now with Denzel Good, Jermaine Illuminor, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Denzel Good starting week 1 at left guard. Him at left guard could be quite it could be pretty damn good next to Colt Miller. I'm gonna be honest. Denzel Good, if healthy, next to Colt Miller, could be pretty damn good. Could be pretty damn good. Chiefs are poverty. Let's see. Are we still in on the Honey Badger after signing Harmon? It's looking like the conversations may slow down with the Honey Badger, but at the same time, I wouldn't write that off just yet because Duron Harmon is not the answer. He is definitely a player that can play for the Las Vegas Raiders at the safety position, but he's not the answer. I'd say that he's more of like a band-aid. I'd say he's more of a plug and play if somebody goes down, but he's not the answer at the safety position, which is something I feel like the Raiders should definitely look after in trying to acquire still in this offseason, right? There's definitely some good talent still out there to be picked up. Now, in my opinion, I feel like the top candidates are kind of down to Jabril Peppers and the Honey Badger. And we obviously have clear-cut ties with Jabril Peppers, especially since we have his old defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. Now, a guy like Jabril Peppers coming into this division would help a lot. It would definitely help a lot. The Kansas City Chiefs, with them now only being down to Travis Kelce, you bring in a guy that's pretty damn good at guarding these tight ends. So I would love to bring in Jabril Peppers. He has that familiarity with the system. He can go and play safety if he needed. He can come into the box and play that hybrid linebacker role. I would love to bring in Jabril Peppers. And at this point, after bringing in Duron Harmon, I feel like Jabril Peppers may be the guy that is most likely to bring in. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think the door is completely closed on the Honey Badger, but at the same time, you guys, we don't really know how open that door really was. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, shout out to my guy Gory. He says Denzel Good still healthy all season. I would love for Denzel Good to play. Listen, Jackie Moon, we ain't having none of that. Simpson built like a moose, still soft as hell. Simpson is pretty built. He is still pretty built, man. Matthew versus Mahomes, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty damn funny. Ziegler has already spoiled me thinking he will just get anyone we want. Yeah, he kind of has, right? He kind of has. But I definitely feel like the Raiders should definitely be in for Gilmore. I agree, Eddie. Gilmore was probably, I mean, I'm not lying here. You guys can go back and watch my first video of cornerbacks in this offseason. Gilmore was the guy that I mentioned. Gilmore was the guy that I mentioned. So I'm not going to sit back and say that I kind of put this out there, but at the same time, I am going to say that Gilmore should be a Las Vegas Raiders without a doubt. I want Gilmore. Two facts, Juan. KC is looking at Gilmore. They can look at Gilmore all they want. They can look at Gilmore all they want, but listen, we got no state taxes, man. We are in Vegas. We just picked up Devontae while they just lost Tyreek Hill. We just picked up Chandler Jones while they just lost Tyrann Mathieu. Right? We just picked up Rocky Sin while they lost Travarius Ward. So addition by subtraction, bro. Like if I'm Stephon Gilmore, I'm not going to Kansas City. I'm not going there. But we'll see. You also wanted Dante Jackson. I did. I was pretty surprised to see that the Panthers re-signed him, but I feel like that officially closed the door for Stephon Gilmore, and it officially opened it for the Raiders. So we'll see. We'll see. Raiders going up, Chiefs going down. Simple as that. Simple as that. Tay just made the Vegas popping. Bro, we been popping. We been popping. You can look, but you can't touch. Facts. Facts. You can look at Gilmore all you want. You can look at Gilmore all you want. But like I said, bro, I don't think that I gotta mention it too much. But while the Chiefs are losing star receivers, we're adding star receivers. While the Chiefs are losing star defensive players, we're adding star defensive players, right? While the Chiefs are losing their cornerbacks, we're adding cornerbacks in Rocky Sin. So, like I said, man, I'm just not too sure if Stephon Gilmore would want to. I'm sure Stephon Gilmore is opening his eyes to Kansas City, but guess what? I think his eyes is a lot more open out here in Vegas. No state taxes. Come on, man. Where do you want to end your career, brother? Like, let's be real here. Mosby on point. You know what's crazy? White Tyson is I'm the one doing that. Where my mods at, man? Talk that shit, Andy. Appreciate you, Jack. Appreciate you, Jack. But listen, man. It is what it is. You can look, but you can't touch. Pause. Shout out to my guy Jesse. Shout out to my guy Jesse. Let's see. We got 5 additional picks in mad cap space. You know what's funny as hell is that 2 of them picks ain't until next year. First of all, and mad cap space is what we already spent. Like y'all don't got mad cap space. Y'all are playing catch up. You guys are playing catch up. You're playing catch up. You're playing catch up. That's what you're doing. You're playing catch up. That's what you're doing, bro. Like you tell me this. How are you gonna replace Travarius Ward? How are you gonna place Tyrann Mathieu? And do not say Eric Reed. Do not say Eric Reed. God, if you say Eric Reed, I'm just gonna fucking laugh. How are you gonna replace Tyreek Hill? What you gonna say, Chris Olave? Get out of here. LaVisca Chenault, get out of here. Like, how are you gonna replace those guys? Because last time I checked, all the top guys that you could have spent that mad cap space on are off the market now. It's 2 weeks into free agency. It is what it is. Come on now. Justin Reed. Did I say Eric Reed? I meant Justin Reed or Eric Reed. I don't know. One of the Reeds. But either way, your safety that you picked up is good safety. I wanted him. But that's not how you replace the Honey Badger. You know? Simple as that. Angry Kirk. Quick sort of pass. Raiders of the future. It is what it is. Mad because the Chiefs killed the Raiders. How? Why would we be mad at that? Why would we be mad at that? We're in the division. Someone's got to win, right? But we're looking at what we got right now and what they got right now and what we got going for us and what they got going for them. It's not looking too good, man. It's not looking too good for them, bro. It's not. Because you got to think about it. You got to think about it. If Mr. Chiefs fan is still in here and you're talking about all the mad cap space that y'all got, right? Who's the guy that you guys traded for from Baltimore? Orlando Brown Jr., right? He came to Kansas City because of what? He wanted to play left tackle. Why? Why did he want to play left tackle, F? Because of the money. The money that you're going to have to pay him at left tackle is substantially more than what you would have to pay him at right tackle. So all that money that you think that you got, a lot of it's going to be an extension for Orlando Brown Jr. Keep in mind, you just franchise tagged him. Okay? So you got to look at it that way. All these guys that you think that you got money for, well, guess what? You have 2 first-round picks. That means that you have to take on 2 first-round pick contracts. 2 second-round pick contracts. So, simple math here. You don't have that much money to work with when it's all said and done. You don't have to. You just paid $10 million to Marquez Valdez-Scantling on a deal worth up to $36 million. F, your franchise is being ran poorly. And at the end of the day, that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it right now, F. The Chiefs are being ran poorly right now. You guys believe that because you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, you guys will be okay. That is false. Let me tell you this. When you guys let Paul Gunther make you guys look like idiots, I knew you guys had a problem. Because Paul Gunther is probably the worst defensive coordinator to ever coach a football team. And at the end of the day, he was a guy that beat you guys. He was a guy that was 30 seconds away from beating you guys twice in 1 year. Look, F. Look, F. This is how I know that you're not looking at your own team's numbers. You guys paid this man $10 million a year for 3 years. Congrats. That's $30 million. But if you look into your contract, buddy, you guys can get that man can get up to $36 million from the Chiefs. That's not good money management at all. At all. Giving Juju $10 million? Like, bro, like, look at where you're spending your money. Your defense is atrocious. And you're giving these receivers that are average $10 million plus dollars. Meanwhile, you should be paying your defense. Because Chris Jones deserves more money. Frank Clark just took a pay cut. Or a team-friendly deal. You're going to have to pay Willie Gay Jr. in 2 years. Because Willie Gay Jr. is a good player. Like, you guys don't know what you guys are doing, bro. Like, you guys don't know what you're doing, bro. You don't know what you're doing. You guys, think of this too, F. Since you want to do the numbers, you guys restructured and saved $9 million for Patrick Mahomes this year, right? That's great. That's great. But what's going to happen to your franchise? It's what's going to happen to the Saints. What's happening to the Saints? And let me tell you what's happening to the Saints. They kept restructuring, and guess what? It caught up. So look, you guys restructured saved $9 million, right? He already has a $45 million cap hit on average. You add $9 million to that next year, that's $50 plus million for one player next year. F. That's not smart. That's not smart. When every other team in your division is building and growing, that's not smart. All I got to say, man. All I got to say, man. You guys are building extremely poorly right now, and it's showing. And it is showing. If you mean to tell me that look at the defenses in this division. Who the hell is going to be worried about Juju Smith-Schuster, fucking what's his name? Pringle, or the other dude. Well, I don't know what the other dude's name is. In MVS, you don't have a number one. Who is going to be worried about that? Nobody. You are now allowing guys and teams all across the NFL to bracket Travis Kelce. Like, God, it's insane how delusional these fans can be for these sports teams. I admit, I could be delusional at times with the Raiders, but when it comes to facts, everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. We added $25 million getting rid of Tyreek. Okay. Do you know how much money you're going to have to pay just those 2 first-round picks? Over $10 million. Do you know how much you're going to have to pay those 2 second-round picks? $7 million. You know what? Let's just do some simple math. You know what that sounds like? $17 million. Right? So, with the rest of your draft class, you're saying that you're probably going to pay them another 5. Yeah, yeah. You guys did real good. You guys did real good with these trades. It's about the dumbest shit you could have ever done. You traded a proven talent for oh man. Listen, if if you if you think if you think that because you traded away Tyreek Hill, you guys fucking hit the lottery, congrats, because you guys fucking already. Ooh, your money management is fucking phenomenal. Rookie minimum contract. This is fucking hilarious, bro. Like what? Like that shit is fucking hilarious. Rookie minimum contract. Oh my god. That's just wow. That's fucking funny. Not to mention pay MVS like $12 million. Well, he can make up to $12 million a year, but he has a base of $10 million. So that's $10 million that they actually just spent after making that money from Tyreek Hill. So listen, it's pretty. It's just funny, bro. Like it's just funny. Cause if you try to play the numbers games back with the Raiders, it doesn't work both ways. You know why? Because Chandler Jones has a cap hit of $7 million. Why? Because we made his bonus a high percentage of what his contract is this year. We did the same thing with Devontae Adams. So you couldn't do the numbers game both ways. You couldn't do the numbers game both ways. You can't. Because we have a guy that actually knows what he's doing in the front office. Meanwhile, you guys are just looking stupid. Come on now. And Mahomes restructured. Did I not just tell you the negative of restructuring Mahomes? Listen, good. You restructured Mahomes. You saved X amount of money. You saved $9 million. Guess what? Next season comes around when you guys have lost and not made the Super Bowl. And guess what? You guys will now have to pay Mahomes $50 million plus $50+ million. Then other contracts are going to have to come around. Then when you guys start to lose, Chris Jones is going to ask for more money. Frank Clark is going to want to leave. You guys are not building for the future. You're not. It's pretty. It's just funny, man. It's just funny. Like, listen, man. Hey, man, hold on. Hold on. Hold on, man. Hold on. I just seen some shit going on in the chat. Where my mods at, man? Where my mods at? We can't be having that. Adrian, I'm sorry, brother. I don't even know who you are, bro, but yeah, you're gone. You're gone, brother. Um Broncos doing the same renovating. Look, bro. It must be a weird fucking time for the Chiefs, right? Cuz you guys got used to winning. Sorry. Sorry, it is what it is. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Make me a mod, brother. Ruggs is no superstar. Well, guess what? We don't have that contract no more. Come on now. Come on now. Jackson Mahomes, Casey Chile. Like, come on, bro. Y'all built the fucking TikTok. Yeah, you know what y'all did? You know what? I'm sorry. You guys lost a powerhouse football team, but you guys built a powerhouse TikTok squad. You got Mahomes' brother. You brought in Juju. Like you're building a great TikTok foundation over there, man. So if your goal is to get TikTok views, y'all doing phenomenal. But if your goal is to win football games, and it's looking rough. It's looking rough. EJ says, my bad, Andy, slaving at UPS. Listen, bro, I'm already knowing EJ. You don't ever got to say my bad for getting your money, brother. Ever. Shout out to my brother EJ in the chat. But another little thing I want to touch up on, man, is because we already hit the hour mark. That went real quick. But somebody that I really want the Raiders to keep an eye on, even though we signed Jayon Brown, another guy that I really want the Raiders to keep an eye on to bring in depth, because in my opinion, I'm not sure that he's a guy that's a starter at this point in his career. He has the tool set to add a lot of great plays and a lot of great depth. He has very, very, very good um value to any team he goes to. And I understand we added Jayon Brown today, but I really want to bring in Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy is the guy that I would love to bring in. That you nailed it, Joey boy. You nailed it. You freaking nailed it. You freaking nailed it. And shout out to Freddie. He says, great show, brother. Raider Nation for life. I appreciate you, man, for showing love to the channel. And yes, Raider Nation for life. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that. Raiders for sure are Raiders free agency are used to losing. It sucks, but sometimes we have a small part of us that expect it when what happens we made a deal. However, KC fans, they aren't ready for the heartbreak this year. That's fucked up that we got used to that shit, ain't it? Bring in Van Noy and Matthew and his rats for the league. Personally, man, I would much rather bring in Stephon Gilmore. And I don't know if I'm the whatchamacallit. I don't know if I'm the black sheep on that or yeah, I don't know if I'm the outcast on that one, but I really think that I would just rather bring in Stephon Gilmore. I think that Stephon Gilmore brings more to the team than Honey Badger. Simple as that. Van Noy would be a phenomenal signing for us, Joy Boy. It would be a phenomenal signing. He wouldn't have to start. He'd add great, great depth to the team, especially being able to play every single linebacker position on the roster. He can rush the passer. He adds a lot of depth, which is why I really want us to bring in Kyle Van Noy, right? He can play Will, he can play Mike, and he can play Sam when it comes to the linebacker positions. He can play all three, and he can rush off the edge. So he is very, very versatile at this point in his career. I'm sure that he would love to start, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if where he's at in his career, he's going to get offered a starting gig. So with the ties that the Raiders got to Kyle Van Noy, I would love for us to bring him in. I would absolutely love for us to bring him in. And he's a guy that also adds a ton of depth on special teams. A ton of depth on special teams, man. And shout out to my guy Hammer, man. I don't even know why the hell he's doing this super. Come on, brother. Like, don't do that shit, bro. I've been shouting Van Noy's name since his release, and you've shit on it. Down. You shit it down. Change of heart. Low. Salute nation. Raiders. Facts. No, I've never shit on it, Hammer. The reason why I always disagreed with you was because I always had the grass is greener mentality when it came to Uchenna and Wosu. Uchenna and Wosu, I always had that the grass is greener with him, right? He's younger, he's the same guy. He could pass rush a little bit better at this point in his career. I just saw that within Wosu. But what I'm seeing right now with bringing in a guy like Kyle Van Noy is a guy that can do it all. He can play Sam, Mike, and he can play Will. If anybody goes down on the linebacker position, he can do it all and at a high level in this point of his career. That is very, very rare. At this point, if there's only two more signings I can do for this entire offseason, it would be this, Justin. It would bring Stephon Gilmore and Kyle Van Noy. It'd be those guys. It'd be those guys. It'd be those two right there. It'd be those two guys right there. Hammer spent $10. Spent $10 to yell at you. Facts. Like, come on, Hammer. What's up with that? What's up with that? Honey Badger bringing the KC playbook with him though. Nah, man. We need the Chiefs to have. We don't need them to have no excuses. No excuses. But honestly, you guys, if I could make let's say I could only make three more additions to this defense. If I could only make three more additions to this defense, it would start off with Eddie Goldman at the nose tackle position. It would then be with Stephon Gilmore at the cornerback position. And then I would finalize it and conclude the offseason on the defense with Kyle Van Noy. Like I said, there's not any other player in the NFL right now that can play all three linebacker spots at a high level. There isn't one. There isn't one. There isn't one. Did you see PFF projected contract for Carr? I don't know if it's. I don't use PFF for much, but they're usually spot on for contract projections. A little low, if anything. 5 years, 200 million. $40 million in my opinion isn't low. I think that it would. I think that it would actually be pretty spot on, though. I think that I'd be close to what he'd get. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe a little bit less. Because I think that there has to have been something in play to where if we brought in a guy like Adams, he would take a little bit less money so that we wouldn't be in some sort of like cap hell like the Chiefs. You know. Read my last comment. I don't see your last comment here. Just rewrite it and I'll read it. Just rewrite it and I'll read it. Shout out to my guy Aussie Raider. He says, "Hi Andy, what do you think of Daniel Faalele for right tackle?" Well, you guys heard me be pretty negative about him. In terms of picking him up in the first 2 rounds, I was not a fan of that. I was not a fan of him coming in the second round. But if for whatever reason, at 6'8", 380 pounds, Daniel Faalele is there in the third round, I would not be mad at the Raiders for picking him up. Now, there is a couple things that you do have to kind of worry about when you're thinking about Daniel Faalele, and that's the fact that while he's 380 pounds and 6'8", his footwork is bad, his lateral quickness is slow, and at the end of the day, he's new to the football to the game of football. He's only been playing football for 3 years, I believe. So he has a lot to learn, and that could be looked as a huge plus, or that could be looked at a huge minus. But with him being a guy that's so big, he can get attacked pretty easily with speed, with these speed rushers, right? With these finesse guys. So it'll be interesting to see if Daniel Faalele would be there in the third round. But shout out to Ozzy, man, because um, I would definitely be open to it if he was there. But you do have to be cautious. You do have to do enough homework on Daniel Faalele to understand with what you're taking your risk on. He could be a guy that can be. He can be a guy that could be one of the best, and he can also be one of the worst and really, really fast, right? So you got to understand what you're bringing in when you're bringing in Daniel Faalele, but he's he's a big human. He's a big human, so we'll see. Let's see. I like how the channel is growing, my guy. I appreciate you, Juan. I appreciate all the love that y'all been showing the channel, man. Get my last comment. Okay, where you at, Redditors for life? Where you at? 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 Well, but I don't see our last comment. I don't see that shit. Oh, I see Anthony's last comment. Let's see. We were all we were all predict what? We were all predicted our record for the season. How do you think we end? Bro, I couldn't even let you know on what that record would look like because we haven't even finished our off season. We haven't even entered the draft. That's a very good question. Once we're done with the draft, I would definitely answer that question. Okay, I will do that. I really have Brown. We got a last 2-year deal. Listen, Tavio, you talk a lot of facts in this chat, but listen, I didn't understand what the fuck you just said. This motherfucker Mike, bruh. Shout out to Raider. He says, "Who's on the trade block to get us back in the second round of the draft?" Um, mm, mm. Oh, I really hope we got Brown on at least a 2-year deal. Me too. I agree. I agree. Who's on the trade block? I wouldn't necessarily say that anybody is on the trade block. I wouldn't necessarily say that any of our players have been like, oh, we're open to hearing your offers. I don't think that any of our guys have been looked at that way, but I definitely could see Josh Jacobs being one of the guys to be traded for a mid or late second round pick. If a team is going to give you a late second round pick for Josh Jacobs, you do it. And, at the end of the day, that may not be what people want to hear, but with Josh McDaniel's system, he's a guy that runs with running back by committee. He's a guy that can do it with many, many running backs. He doesn't need a bell cow. Now, Jacobs helps. He helps. But if you're asking me who is a guy that could potentially get us back into the second round of the draft, Raider, um, I definitely think that Josh Jacobs could be that guy. Now, I don't think that there's any team that would give up a second round pick for Josh Jacobs, due to the fact that the running back position is extremely replaceable, and there's just not much value in getting in giving up a second round pick for a running back. So I just don't think so, right? I mean, if the Giants were saying that their trade value for Saquon Barkley was one first round pick, I definitely don't think that Josh Jacobs, when healthy, is playing on that same speed and level of Saquon Barkley. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's a good question though, right there. It's a good question though. Um, I who would need running back that bad though? Exactly. Exactly. I don't think any team is like, you know what? We need Josh Jacobs. I'm gonna send them a second round pick. I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody's gonna look at that. Not one person. Not one person. Um, Andy, this is your channel, so I'm gonna ask you for promotion. So can I report Trevino? If not block, but report? Who is Trevino? Nah, the Chiefs fan, man, he's just chilling, bro. He's just chilling. He's just a little delusional guy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Cause then don't do that, man. Don't do that. Yo, Andy, do you think we're gonna be we're done on signing receivers? I think we are. I think we are done on signing receivers. You bring in Demarcus Robinson. You brought in what's his name? Old boy from the Dolphins. You brought in old boy from the Dolphins. You brought in um to just yesterday Demarcus Robinson. Obviously, you brought in Devontae Adams, right? You I think you are done at that spot, but but I think that you're not done when it comes to I don't yeah, Matt Collins. There you go. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I don't think that we're necessarily done with the corners, right? And obviously it's like, oh, that's obvious. Like we've been linked to stuff on Gilmore, right? But we have added a lot of corners. We have added a lot of corners. So we'll see. Report for telling the truth. Listen, Trevino, I'm not gonna like look, I don't fuck with the Chiefs, fuck the Chiefs, fuck you for liking the Chiefs. But I'm not gonna be like report the guy because he has a different opinion. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So yeah. Let's see. What's good, Nation? What's good, Brad? What's popping? Mac Hollins. Yeah, Mac Hollins. I think that when you what the fuck? You brought in Mac Hollins. It's not like, oh my God, he's a game changer. But Demarcus Robinson is a good pickup as well. Um, don't yeah. Yeah, no. Waller? What about Waller? I know we're not talking about Trent Waller. Hell no. Nah. Hell no. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. No way. But let me ask you guys this. In the Even though we just added a great pass coverage linebacker today with Jayon Brown, if if Darian Beavers or Brian Asamoah are there in the third round, are you guys taking them? Are you guys still taking a linebacker with our first pick of this year's draft, even though we just went out and acquired a very, very good coverage linebacker? Are you doing that? Are you doing that? I want to know. Me personally, I feel like what we should do is go interior offensive line first. Then I feel like we should go safety second. After that, who knows? No, yes, no, no. Okay. Okay. I mean, shit. I would entertain it, but I wouldn't know. Yes, we need depth. Our Samoa, yeah. I think that Jayon Brown is actually pretty similar. I think that Jayon Brown is actually pretty similar to Asamoah. I think that Jayon Brown is pretty similar to Asamoah. Never heard of a Chiefs fan channel, me neither, because they don't exist. They don't exist. But listen, you guys, we always like to end off these lives with a nice little mock draft. So that's what we'll do. We go 7 rounds, we go fast, we click close on the ad. So let's do it. Let's do it. We end off the live with a nice little mock draft. We always have some fun with these, right? I do want to go a different route with this though. I do want to go a different route with this. Let's see. The go Andy, appreciate you, Anti. What's good with you, my brother? Kind of like this channel, no cap. Hey man, appreciate you, F. Appreciate you, man. You still fuck the Chiefs though, but I appreciate you, man. Um, but listen, we wanna we need longer lives, Andy. Listen, man, I'm all for the longer lives sometimes, but you know I got work, man. I got work tomorrow, man. So it's like if this was my job, bro, I'd go on for 30 hours at a time. You feel me? But nah, we 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 got other shit to do, man. I kind of want to trade back with this. I kind of want to see what it is with this. Like y'all. All right, we'll take that. I'll move back. I'll move back 5 spots. I'll move that back to Sim. No, we're not doing that. We rejecting both of those. We rejecting both of those. Let's see. Brian Asamoah is there. Verone McKinley. I'm gonna go a little bit different. I've been going linebacker. I'm gonna go safety. I'm gonna go safety here. We're gonna go get a versatile safety. They can play in the box. They can play high. They can get a pick. They can force a fumble. I like that right there. That's a good pickup. Verone McKinley. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And we need. Ooh, Darion Kendrick. I don't understand how he's there. But after going safety, I definitely feel like we need to go and see what is here at the defensive tackle position. Haskell Garrett, Nail Farrell. Nah, there's not much here, man. There's not much here. Let's go linebackers. Troy Anderson, Leo Chanel. That's good. Corners, Darion Kendrick. I mean, I just don't see Darion Kendrick, even with his off-field issues, going this late. Marquise Hayes. I'm gonna go interior offensive line. Who is here? Who is here? Dylan Parham will not be here in real life, so I'm gonna go out and get Dylan Parham because that's just extremely, extremely good value right there. Um, that's a W right there. Smoke Monday, Myron Cunningham. We already. I think right here is a good spot to go linebacker. Linebacker right here, get some linebacker depth. Jojo Demand, perfect. And what else? Let's go offense. Who's the top offensive guy here? Max Mitchell. Oh man, Kellen Dicic. That's beautiful right there. Chanel is still there. What the fuck, man? These boards are so bad. Facts. Facts. 227. 227. Devontae Pierce, running back. Bo Melton. We're gonna. Oh, nah, we got to go Bo Melton out of Rutgers. Had a phenomenal combine. We're gonna go out and get Bo Melton. He could, at worst, be a special teams return guy. I like the pickup there. Um, shit, this is a great draft right here. DeMarco Jackson, and we are going to wrap up this draft with. Ooh, these are kind of ass. Nasir Greer is a baller. Uh, Josh. What about the running backs? Let me see what we got at running back, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Running back. You know what? We're gonna go get safety. We're gonna finish it off with a safety. Nasir Greer out of Wake Forest. Not bad. Not bad. All right, man. Not not a bad draft at all. And that'll conclude today's live, man. We still got over 300 of you guys in the building, man. Holy shit. Shout out to you guys, man. But I will head out for tonight. Please, 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 if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and join the family because we got so much content coming your way, man. So much content. And if you don't want to miss no news, no updates, I mean, then this is the perfect channel to be. I love doing these lives with you guys. There's a lot of content. So as of right now in the off season, I'm doing a lot of lives. I will get back to my normal videos, but right now when there's a lot of news, I definitely want to do these live shows where I can get to interact with you guys. But that'll be it for tonight. And really quick, before I head out, please hit that sub button down below. But also, if you guys are taking the trip out to Las Vegas for the draft, please link up with me and the rest of the Four Horsemen at the Ahern Hotel at 300 West Sahara Boulevard. Link with us. We'll have some fun there. We'll spend some time at the draft as a family, as a nation. But you guys, that will be it for today's live and today's news update. I appreciate all the people we had in here. We had over 400 of you guys at one point. So shout out to you guys for showing love and support to the channel. We are growing this channel like rapid fire. I love you guys, Rudder Nation. I always like to say at the end of the video, stay blessed, have a good night, stay safe. I love y'all, Rudder Nation, and I'm out. Peace.